you ever heard of geocaching?
Not really.
It's pretty badass. It's like stoner scavenger hunt. Because I started playing it, like participating in it this weekend.
What, people hide bags of weed places?
In Colorado they do. But around here, no. The only thing is I found is like kids' toys and trinkets and like a Pez dispenser. But see, basically what you do is you have this app on your phone and you upload it, and then all those green dots that are on there, those are like caches around you that you can go find. So there's like one right by you. What is it? It's the CMC Scenic District Cache Eagle number 4 is the name of it. And it's 0.2 miles east. And then see, like, line it up where that orange hash on the compass is where it's at, and then you just follow it. And you just basically follow it all the way to the fucking cache zone, as they call it.
Weird.
And then you, like, look around, and then it's usually, like, a coffee can or a film canister or something like that, like, wrapped in camouflage duct tape. And then you, like, open it up, you sign the log, and then you can either exchange what's in there and leave something else for somebody else to find, or just leave everything there and just sign in and then check in with the app and then on to the next spot. They're everywhere. Weird. I had 5 of them within a mile of my apartment. I tried looking for 3 of them on Saturday. Didn't find a fucking thing. I don't know if somebody moved them or something.
That's probably what happens.
I know, that's the worst part. It's because, like, Tony got me into it. And he's like, yeah, the ones in the city is the worst because people fuck with them. You know, but... Because there was... Behind my apartment, there's this...
I bet you they have them at disc golf courses.
Oh, yeah. Pretty much anywhere. There's fucking anywhere. If you look at the map, pretty much anywhere you are, there's fucking green dots everywhere. So it's kind of retarded because I'll be sitting at work, I'm like, oh, there's one right there. And there's...
I must go on this quest.
Which is funny is because there's one literally 172 feet from where I sit in the office. I haven't found it yet.
Weird.
Because it's like right on, you know...
so you can use set one?
Yeah.
See, that's the problem then. That people probably just set them and don't do anything.
No, it's pretty well kind of self-regulated, if you will. So it's legit. I mean, I've only been doing it for like 2 days, but it's kind of fun because it brings you in the weirdest fucking spots. Because I found the very first one I found was actually on my lunch break yesterday, and I was walking in the Beaver Trail over by Clearwater, you know, where I work, and there was one like just right off the trail. So I was like, I'm gonna try to find it, and I did actually find this one, and I was like, sweet. Because after searching for 3 hours on Sunday around my house for one, I could not find a single one. Because they give you like weird hints, like the one at the one with all the granite and stuff behind my apartment. It's like it's the stone that doesn't belong, and there's this weird like cement slab in this whole sea of concrete, like not concrete but granite. And I'm like, well, that don't belong. And I was like looking all over it, under it, and the GPS brought me right to it, and I just could not find it. So I'm assuming somebody fucked with that one. For sure. Yeah, no, but I suppose we should get the show started, huh?
Sure.
Alright, welcome to the next installment, Cautionary Tales from the Red Chair. I'm Jake.
Sam.
So you have anything important, exciting, extravagant to bring up in the news?
One thing that really pissed me off, this is a really weird headline that I read. Car firms sued over CD quote-unquote RIP system. And...
What?
Yeah, it's fucked up in all senses. And this is actually going back to the whole thing of, you know, like LimeWire and all that kind of stuff that was just giving music away. That's what they're basically suing them. And listen to what the system actually does.
Okay.
So basically what it is it's a, what did they say, a 2 gigabyte system that stores in the actual CD player itself. Mm-hmm. So as you put the CD in and as you're listening to the CD, it rips it and puts it into the memory of the car.
That's legit.
That way you can use it with the voice commands and, you know, you don't have to fumble through the CDs.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And they're actually suing them, saying that this is a way for them to not have to buy the CDs and all this kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, you have to have the CD to put it in there anyway.
But I suppose they're not coded, so you could take one of your CDs, put it in my car, and my car has it. That is theft.
But it comes to the whole aspect of that's kind of the same way of like how I do it with my CDs, of keeping the originals and then burning them.
So you can
so
have
that
travelers.
If I get the scratches and shit on them, I still have the original to burn again.
Yeah. No, that's... You really don't need that nowadays with the computing power we have. That's an old school technique.
Well, yeah, but I used to do that shit all the time.
Your age is showing, sir.
Oh, fuck up. But, this is the exact same equivalent. The only difference is your fucking car gets it. There's absolutely no way for you to burn it.
Yeah, or even take it someplace else, unless you're going to take out your car's stereo.
So I just looked at it and went, are you kidding me? This goes right back to a conversation I was having with my wife the other day. One of the biggest problems of this fucking country is every single person and every living entity in this fucking country is so sue happy. They will sue you for everything. And it's amazing how stupid and petty most of the shit that people actually bring up is for any kind of lawsuit.
So they're suing the car maker?
Yeah, they're suing Ford and General Motors.
So why the fuck haven't they sued HP and Apple for... Because isn't that the exact same thing? You would sue the manufacturer of a computer because the computer can let you do that, but also make 1 million copies and throw them away. Like, throw them around to people.
Yeah, all the CDs that I buy, I rip to my computer so I don't have to put the CD in to actually... I bought the fucking thing, though. Yeah. You know what I mean? To me, it just pisses me off to think that convenience for me means that you're going to try to sue the car over this shit because they're trying to make it safer so I don't have to fumble with my goddamn CDs and all that shit. Because people aren't smart enough to pull over or do this when you're stopped.
Oh, 100%. And what do they think of? How are they going to lose money? Do they think, like, I'm going to go to every one of my friends' cars that has this and just put that CD in and take it out just so they have it?
Well, because every single one of my friends drives 2015 cars, too.
Yeah, exactly.
We all change in. It's like every season.
Mm-hmm. Just making a baller. Just a baller.
I thought that was absolutely hilarious because this is just one of those things where it's like, seriously, you're taking this way too far. I can understand you saying no unlimited free music to those websites. But to actually come out and say, well, you can't buy the disc and then commit it to memory on something.
Yeah, then you'd have to sue every computer manufacturer.
Yeah. Well, that's what you'd think
and
the defense
iPod,
would be.
Like Apple. Well, you know what it really boils down to? Is the music industry, they fucked up. They shot themselves in the foot, and they had such lack of vision and foresight that they left it up to a goddamn hardware developer to make a digital music marketplace. What they didn't understand was, yes, people were stealing your music, but if you let them buy it digitally easier than it is to steal, they're gonna fucking buy it. AKA the iTunes store. It's making buku bucks. And they left it up to Apple, a hardware developer, came up with the digital music exchange. That's their fault. Music industry can suck my dick when they try to say, we need to recoup our losses. No, you guys are fucking dinosaurs, and you were too stupid to make this happen.
Well, even the musicians do it, though. I mean, you can't tell me that back in the day you don't remember hearing Metallica on the radio, and anytime Lars would do an interview with anybody, he'd always say, copy our shit off the radio and give it to all your friends, and all that shit, just to try to get their band bigger. And they were the first ones to jump on the tee to the lawyers so that they could get this fucking lawsuit against things like LimeWire and Napster. And I mean, it comes down to it of the biggest hypocrisy that there is somebody that's got money along the way of their life.
Yeah.
Majority of people just... And I have no idea how it does. It's kind of one of those weird things of how, you can take a completely... Well, I don't know if you could consider it tame, but a pig from a farm,
Yeah.
Kind of cute
Just
looking
domesticated pig.
Yeah, there you go. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
Domesticated pig. And within 3 generations, they will go right back to their razor fucking ancestors with the big ass thick hair on the back and the tusks and yeah, all that shit. 3 generations, that's all it takes. But for some reason, we do it even faster if you give somebody that came from nothing a bunch of money and all the fame in the world. They become the biggest fucking douchebags.
Yeah. Or you take everything away from them.
Oh,
look
God,
them
yeah.
devolve then.
Yeah.
Fuck, what is it? They've done the studies and shit that 15 days without food, humans will revert to cannibalism. In only 15 days.
Huh?
That's fucked. It's like a thin coating of civilized over this fucking reptilian brain murder you all for me attitude that we all fucking have.
You got 2 weeks. You better be hunting.
No shit. Fuck. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty marbleized too.
Marbleized.
So I think I'll be the first to go. He's fucking succulent. We gotta eat him before he loses too much of that delicious fat.
I'm just speaking. He might take up more than others.
Yep. And we gotta eat him while he's plump.
Yep.
Can't let him waste away. There'll be nothing but gristle.
Yep. That ain't all turning into energy. Oh, well, that was a pretty good ending for that somber story. I just find it fucking funny that they do that kind of shit.
Yeah, because you just had to order like a few albums.
Oh yeah, I know, that just fucking floored me. I could not find CDs anywhere. I am not kidding you. They do not sell CDs in stores anymore. I did not know that. Where they had CDs before, now they have like iTunes cards and...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Just a rack of fucking coupons that I was looking at. Well, good gift cards or whatnot.
Where'd you go?
We went to Best Buy. We went to Target. The only things that every place had was...
the top 40s.
Well, basically, the new release.
Yeah.
They had no selection of anything else.
No deep cuts.
Yeah,
you weren't fucking, like, flipping through vinyl looking for some goddamn rare... And which sucks is because the best place to get vinyl and rare CDs like that closed down.
Yep.
This spring. Fucking Electric Fetus. Big ups. Rest in peace. Are they still open in Minneapolis?
I have no idea.
Think so. I think they were just closing the St. Cloud store. They might still be open in Duluth and Minneapolis.
Who knows?
I wonder what happened with that. And I don't know if I guess everybody fucking stealing music. But I thought, I swore the vinyl resurgence was going to save that place. Because, I mean, that's all you're going to make. You can't get vinyl anywhere besides like a place like the Electric Fetus. Just some patchouli oil smelling fucking bodega.
Yeah, that was a weird fucking place, though.
But you get some great
Always
wares.
hairy women there.
Mm-hmm. They sold that great Bob Marley incense, though. Stuff was good. Do they still make that, I wonder?
I don't know.
I haven't burned incense since I was in college.
Yeah, not since I had to.
Like, now I got my own house. I don't got burn shit.
Yeah, I don't really give a shit. I already know that the neighbors smelled it a couple of times with me smoking and having the windows open and shit.
Really?
He's made just comments about it, but he doesn't care. So
Really? What has he said?
he's just said he could smell it.
Really? He's like, I can smell that weed. And you're like, how was it? You jealous or what, son? I wonder if he smokes. Does he toke?
They didn't say anything, so.
Yeah, I think he's a little down there on the intellectual. He probably shouldn't be smoking. No. He seems a little
dick.
Hey, I'm just calling him out. You know who you are, motherfucker.
You know who you are and why I did it.
Just tearing apart your neighbor that I fucking barely know.
Don't make me say it again.
Yeah, motherfucker. Dude, did you see how fucking close we were to getting Ebola? Or Ebola? Ebola.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That motherfucker from Minnesota was gonna try to take that shit back here.
Yeah, because he's a douche.
God, I'm so glad he fucking dropped dead.
Let's stone him.
Yeah. Fucking Nigerians. They're the ones that had to take care of him.
Well, speaking of which, the death threats and shit like that. Did you hear that
Death threats for what?
Well, when we had Ebola coming our way and shit like that, an Amazon tribe leader was actually, like, hit squads were put out for him.
For this guy?
Yeah. BBC reported on it. One of Brazil's most prominent indigenous leaders has called for police protection following a series of death threats. He's one of those guys that I guess goes around the world and actually tries to promote saving the rainforest because it's his indigenous land. And he's been hugely outspoken for not giving out gold permits to mine in this area.
Yeah.
And so when he started getting successful, which he's done apparently in the last couple of months, these fucking gold miners have put out hits on him.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's savage.
Yeah. So there's some, like, fucking dude out in the middle of the goddamn jungle with grass pants, and he's got a hit out on him. You know what I'm saying? He might not even have grass pants. He might just swang away.
Well, if you're, getting that kind of heat, you better be wearing some pants.
I don't know. That might just be fun, though. Just, have people walk up to you and be like, take it all in.
Yeah. You're going to have to murder me naked.
Nobody wants to touch the naked guy. They'd be fucking Rochambeauing like you beat him up.
Yeah. Lube yourself up, just fucking slippery.
Yeah. Let's do this.
Then just bend over. I've been waiting.
Yeah.
The guy would be like, what the fuck? I'm going to get AIDS and Ebola up in this bitch.
Oh, wow. We went way weird on that one.
You know what? I'm going to keep it going down the weird hole.
Nice.
So this Polish priest,
Polish
priest claims he's been getting hate texts from a demon.
What a dick.
Parish priest Father Marian Rachel from Jaroslaw, a town in southeastern Poland. He said he started getting texts after he carried out an exorcism on a teenage girl.
What?
Yeah. So the guy thinks he successfully, well, he didn't say successfully, he said that he attempted, obviously, because he didn't work, because he's getting nasty texts from the fucking thing. But he said he attempted to drive out the devil from the girl's soul, and the girl has been apparently texting him, like, evil fucking messages saying, like, she will not come out of this hell, she's mine. Anyone who prays for her will die. So do you think this is just some, like, psycho chick?
Oh, I want to pray for her. Did they say her name?
No.
Damn it.
As the best part is the priest actually says often the owners of mobile phones are not even aware that they are being used like this. However, in this case, it is clear.
Used like what?
I don't know. Like, to send hateful...
You got a devil dick pic?
So apparently every kid that, does cyberbullying is actually just...
a demon.
Yes! According to this Polish priest...
It's not their fault.
It's the devil
Maybe
inside
that's
them.
what they do. Their parents need to sit them down and just go, it's not your fault.
The kid's like, what? It's not your fault.
And he shits out a demon.
It was... Oh, wow.
That's showing our age. You don't get to use that very often. No, I had to.
Yeah. That is messed up.
Yeah, that is fucked up.
The Polish priest claiming to get hateful text messages from a possessed teenager he attempted to exorcise.
Well, that's what you get for failing.
But when it comes to stuff like that, do you think it's really just almost boils down to the Salem witch trial type bullshit where it was almost just kids doing it for attention and to create a little bit of drama and ruckus?
I'm honestly under the impression that most of them that do that kind of stuff are just trying to entertain themselves in the first right because they just don't feel comfortable enough doing anything with anybody else. For the majority of the time, when you look at what they consider troubled youth, it's mostly kids that just don't want to interact with anybody else. And there's a certain population that just don't do... I mean, look at the way we went out through high school.
Yeah.
We didn't really... I mean, it was more or less we had to put up with that many people.
Yeah, we didn't want to.
It comes down to it that you don't even talk to people that we went to high school with anymore. Like, there's no contact whatsoever, just like there wasn't in high school.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of people that are like that, and a lot of people, or a lot of families don't see the interaction with the family different because they treat the kid different, because you're not the winning athlete, or you're not, the fucking cheerleader or anything like that. You want to be alone all the time, so they think that, oh, that's demented, that's like that goth phase.
Yeah.
No, it's just they don't want to be around large groups of people, and I think that's the majority of it. I was the same way. I didn't like being around large groups just as much as I don't today, because people are stupid when you're in large groups of people.
That is true. I'm more tolerant of it since I, had to get acclimated to it doing, promotions and being around all those people all the time.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's a little different when you're doing promotions because you're more or less, like, looking at them. You're not in it. You're outside of the fray.
You have your booth.
You have your booth. You fucking do your thing. You call them in, you deal with them in small groups.
And you're getting paid to deal with stupidity.
Yep. And you deal with them in small groups.
I get paid to deal with stupidity on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So I understand that, but the whole aspect of being around mass quantities of people, I have a real problem with, because I hate being around that many people.
The only place that I never get what they, I refer to as the fear, when around people, where you just want to, like, freak the fuck out and start just swinging strollers at random people.
Let me guess, Renaissance.
Yep,
me too.
It's the only place.
It's more open spacing, though. I
Yeah.
mean, it never gets to the same way like the state fair, where it's almost crushing seas of people. Oh,
and
man.
I think the throngs of people that are in attendance at the Renaissance Festival are a little more of our ilk.
They're the same people that we were just talking about.
Yeah, the nerds, the shut-ins.
Don't like fucking groups of people. So they have their little group that's tightly balled.
Yep.
And they shuffle around from one place to the next. Yeah, it's my kind of folk.
And it's true, and you rarely see, like, just randoms. It's always people go in groups.
Yep.
You never see, like, the ones, the twos, stuff like that. It's always... We can't look like this alone.
Yeah, exactly.
I need a group or else this doesn't work.
I can't be the merry man.
Yeah. But I can.
It has to be merry men.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will give you that. But that's literally what I think. I don't think it has as much problem as to do with anything else. I think parents don't spend as much time with their kids because it's just not feasible with having to work as much as everybody does nowadays. So it's a differential. Parents don't have as much time to spend with their kids to understand why this is going on, without understanding what the kid is actually going through or trying to in one sense or another. The kid's going to eventually act out somehow. Let's just hope it's not shooting up a fucking school.
Yeah. No shit. It's the last thing we need.
Yeah, it happens. Statistically, though, I've heard that shooting up, or like school shootings like that, yeah, we hear about a lot of them, and I mean, it seems like a lot of people are dying in these things.
Yeah.
But since Columbine, the same number of, or they counted the murders just by regular gunfire and shit like that, and then school shootings.
Yeah.
And school shootings are like 3% of the overall death rate.
Gun death rate or whatever.
Of shootings all across the country in that time frame.
Well, because the fucking 40 to 60 people that get murdered every weekend in Southside Chicago, they're definitely not in school.
Down south is getting that bad. For, like, New Orleans, remember that shit after Katrina?
Yeah.
It was lawless down there. People were just getting killed left and right.
Getting crazy.
Apparently that was a good time to off somebody you didn't like.
Well, there's no law.
Yeah.
All the policemen were running for their lives.
Yep.
They were trying to save their homes. They were trying to protect their families.
Not to mention what happens in California every day, or Washington, D.C., or,
Dude, California is crazy. They're literally on fire, and just on fire.
Did you hear about their new Supreme Court ruling about the death penalty?
No, I did not hear that.
They deemed it unlawful because it's cruel and unusual punishment to the people that they put on the death penalty.
Did they just pass that in the wake of that Arizona fiasco where it took that guy 2 hours to get executed?
Yep. So
it was a knee-jerk reaction to
They
that.
looked at the same thing in California as Arizona did on how long it's taking everybody to be on death row to get to actually executing.
Yeah.
And it's cruel and unusual punishment because the people never have an actual date of when they're dying, so every day could be their last.
Oh, dun, dun, dun.
For the majority of people, I would say if you're going to just give them a life sentence, executing them is actually probably nicer to them.
I mean, so that brings up the debate of, I mean, first we have to decide, is the death penalty something we want to have in this country first and foremost? How do you weigh in on it?
I believe there should be a death penalty, but it should be completely different than it is right now. And when I say that, I mean, there has to be... When I say that, the whole aspect of you're proven... Or, I mean, you're innocent until proven guilty. They have to prove without a reasonable doubt, is what they're saying. So, it can't be proving without a reasonable doubt. It has to be hard, factual... there's multiple witnesses, there's videotape of this.
There's DNA.
That's
sketchy.
What I'm saying is it can't have any fucking question that this is going to be something that could have been planted, that could have, this is not anything. I'm talking about, like, the fucking dude that walked into a theater and started shooting the place up. There's 30 witnesses that say that was the dude. Sorry, man, you walked into a theater with people watching a goddamn movie with a handgun and started lighting people up. You deserve to go. Nobody in that room had any knowledge of what was going to happen. Yeah. You were an absolute pussy, and you shouldn't exist in today's society. I mean, seriously, you walk into a goddamn theater where everybody's facing the same way, nobody would even be thinking that they're going to be shot at, and you just start lighting people up? Fuck you. Those are the kind of people that, yes, you're gone. There's none of this waiting in line for 9 years or anything. You've been found guilty. Do you want to appeal? Yes? Alright, we'll start the appeal next week.
Yeah. Or I think in cases of where they basically admitted to it and show absolutely no remorse.
Put them right in the chair.
Fuck the chair. Just put a bullet in their fucking
I
head.
agree on that one, too.
Jesus
Bullets are 39 cents.
Christ. What are I pussyfooting around this? If we're going to be murdering people for justice, let's fucking murder people.
And don't give me that excuse that, whoa, do you want to be the executioner? There are so many people in this country that would beg to be an executioner. I'm not kidding you. There are people in this country that pay enormous amounts of money just to put a bullet in something.
Yeah, and then the thing is what you could easily do is make it set up so it's, completely safe, and just be like, hey, you're killing this one sociopath that has no problem murdering people, has zero remorse. Guess who's next in line? The next sociopath who's exactly the same. Guess who gets to kill the first one? The next one in fucking line!
Exactly.
He gets to kill somebody.
So that's your fucking date right there.
Yep.
You're not going to know it. But when the next guy comes on trial, get ready.
Exactly. Because instead of like a Last Supper for these sociopaths...
That would be the same thing as the cruel and unusual punishment of not knowing when your date was, though.
Hey, see, that's why you have to have the debate if it's even plausible to have a death penalty, if it's even morally upstanding, if we even want it as a society.
Well, I've already given my answer.
Yeah, but that's the thing. And we decided, yes, it is. So fuck the cruel and humane bullshit. Because that's cruel and unhumane.
Yeah.
Is just killing somebody. So those two things can't exist together. If you decide death penalty is okay, you have to throw away the whole thought of humane and uncruel. Because that doesn't exist when this thing is in play. So if you're going to have that, you can't have the death penalty. So that's why I'm saying, if we're all going to agree we're having the death penalty, boom! Make this a bloody mess. I want to see him fucking Jackson Pollock across the goddamn wall. And first off, it'll send a real clear message to everybody, and it'll also tell people that are pro-death penalty, this shit's fucking real. This shit's nasty, and this shit ain't cool.
Yeah.
Don't
should have
glam
its
it.
own channel.
Exactly.
Everybody should be able to see it. Everybody should understand it. This is what this shit is.
Pay-per-view channel?
No.
Increase revenue?
No, a government channel. Like it
like
always
C-SPAN?
did. It's not meant to be an entertainment thing. It's meant to everybody, this is real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This isn't something, that you put in a fucking movie just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is real. You do this kind of shit, your head gets blown off.
Exactly. See, me personally, I'm kind of leaning in my older age to be anti-death penalty. So, of course, I really don't condone any of that. But if we're in a society going, death penalty is the way to go, I'm just as blunt and straightforward with it as possible. Let's just blow their fucking heads off.
See, I used to be the teetering on the edge, and then I finally realized one thing. That there are evils in this world that people like you and I just don't comprehend.
Oh, yeah, we couldn't even imagine.
And, I mean, when you start thinking, and I'm not saying that it has anything to do with any of the war or anything like that,
No.
but what I'm trying to say is, when you can even think of, like, the fucking pilots on 9/11
Yeah.
that flew those planes into a building.
Allegedly. No,
Once again,
let's move past that. I wanted
just
to throw that
think
in.
that you would think that your cause is big enough to kill not only the hundreds of people that you have behind you, but the hundreds of people that are in these buildings as well,
And
if not thousands of people that are just completely innocent. They're going about their day. They're doing whatever.
Yep.
No matter what a gripe that you have. And I understand the whole aspect of there have been bombs that have killed others, in your regions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there's a differential of doing that back to a culture rather than doing it back to a government.
Exactly, because you didn't do anything to anybody that actually makes any decisions.
Yeah.
And
if they are so naive to think that the American people actually run this country, then, wow, they do deserve to just get wiped out, because then they're going to be a problem for everybody.
Yep.
They're just idiots with a fucking bomb.
Well, and if you believe the official story, you would have to concur that they were fucking complete idiots and didn't even want to really hurt the American government. Because when they, if you believe that a plane flew into the Pentagon...
We're getting off the point here, though. We were talking about the death penalty.
Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about... Why I just want to, devolve into that is the Pentagon getting hit on the complete opposite side where the top brass is.
Yeah.
So it's just like...
I understand those, but what I was just trying to portray here is the evil that it had to have in that person's mind just to be able to justify taking all those innocent lives without hesitation. And, the first guy and the second guy more so. Just because, holy shit, I mean, you actually get to see what the first guy did before you do yours. So then you really have to have it ingrained in your head that you're doing the right thing, if that's what you believe you're doing, you know what I mean? But how much hatred do you have to do something like that and feel good about it? Well, I suppose that's kind of the good part about doing something like that. You don't really have to make up your mind afterwards if it was a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? To do that, you understand that this is finite in this life.
But they
do believe that afterwards you have an afterlife. But when I look at that, I look at it as just a brainwashed evil.
Yeah, but that's why I don't even think...
So the evil that's in this world, though, is bigger than what we can consider it, just because we can't fathom doing that to other people. So when I look at that kind of stuff, yes, I do believe that there's people on this planet that should no longer be on this planet for the betterment of mankind. Now, do I say that knowing that some of them are on U.S. soil? Yes, knowingly I say that.
Yeah. But I mean, to get rid of them for the betterment of mankind, wouldn't you almost have to say that the natural symbiosis of the universe would say, no, those people have to be there for you to grow as a spiritual entity in this reality? Like, take the whole Buddhist approach, where you can't kill them. They're meant to be here just as much as you are. You're the good part of it, they're the evil part of it. It's all one. It cannot exist one without the other. So in that aspect, you shouldn't have a death penalty. Because you need...
Yeah, that didn't sway me at all.
Well, of course, that's not going to sway you. I wasn't trying to. You're sitting here with a goddamn digital camel fucking headband. Looking like Duck Dynasty and shit.
Fuck you.
I had to throw it to you.
Yeah, I'm sure now I probably do.
You really did. You just need to let that beard grow at least like 3 more months and you'll be fucking Halloween, son.
Yeah, no doubt.
You can get it dialed in. Get it dialed in perfectly. Get you a fucking duck call.
Yeah, exactly.
Pussy feels better than asshole.
Just walk around making racist comments.
And I've heard you say that. But not in like saying it against homophobes, about just saying it about what you prefer to have sex with.
Yeah.
Not that you're homophobic, but but I have heard you say that I prefer the vagina to the booty.
It is true. Yeah, we went a strange one on that. We keep having these really like deep conversations and then come back up to the most juvenile bullshit. It is awesome though. Keep going right from, well, that's a good idea or a good thought, to right back to
No shit. We're gonna solve all the world's problems.
Yep.
Boobies.
One fart joke at a time.
Oh, I got distracted by boobs again. Son of a bitch.
I thought you had them on the screen.
Oh yeah, shit. So I read this crazy article that these scientists extracted a DNA from a 50,000-year-old fossil that came from a Neanderthal woman found in Siberia.
Ooh,
and
clone her, see if she's hot.
Yeah, and they well, they actually did piece together the entire Neanderthal. I'm gonna say Neanderthal like I'm fucking brilliant. Like I'm an educated guy.
I don't like Neanderthal.
Why?
Neanderthals, actually, that's how it's supposed to be said, I think. But
yeah, but okay.
Let me check my schedule.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know why I brought that up. But okay, so I digress. They've recreated and mapped the entire Neanderthal genome, basically like how they've done it with ours. And they found out that they're basically the modern human is comprised of 3 different species.
Yeah, that's been years.
Yeah, 1.5 to 2.1% of DNA of people with European ancestry are like Neanderthals and so on and so forth, and it kind of just separates them all. But what's really weird is that they just found this what is it? Like they call it a super archaic kind of fossil, like a human hybrid between whatever the Denisovans. I'm not sure what the hell that is. It's an offshoot, basically, of early human. One of the 3 different branches I just mentioned. I'm not scientific on this at all. I'm just reading.
Well, I know that Neanderthal and humans, well, modern humans anyway, actually walked to the Earth at the same time. So it would make sense that they would mate with them. I mean, they're close enough to humans to begin with. Yeah,
but I guess this crazy fossil that they found in the cave in Siberia, along with this lady, there was a super archaic genome that didn't belong to any known species that they've ever come across or mapped. So right there, is that the missing link?
So they're saying that they're related to us, yet they're unknown?
No, well, basically, there had to have been an unknown species that kind of jerked off into the soup that made whatever this was. So through crossbreeding.
Well, that doesn't, that wouldn't surprise me too much, though, when you think about how many millions of years this kind of shit happened ago. I mean, we don't know 1/10 of the species that walk.
Oh, exactly. But that's the one thing that I thought was the most fascinating part, is because then all of a sudden it's like you just said, there could be an innumerable amount of species that are offshoots. But this is
when you think about it this way, if evolution actually happens, look at nature on even the closeness of, let's just put lemurs out there. There's like 9 different types of lemurs. And it usually has to do with where they're located.
Yeah.
So if you look at it, and also each one of them kind of takes a certain food over a period of time, and that's their specialty.
And do they cross bang?
Well, not really. But it seems that if we were going to have an evolutionary turn, it would happen the same way. Evolution would go, let's try this. And then when that would happen, the different offshoots of, the different packs or prides or families or whatever you want to call them, when they would go some other places and they would start procreating there, they would make their own type. You know what I mean? Just because the years would go by, they would specialize in this, they would start looking different. That's exactly what had happened with humans to begin with.
Yeah, just...
I mean, and you can even look at it in a genetic way of the disposition of how you take your environment. Like, there's a lot of people, I'm one of them, that has an affinity to cold. I was born into cold.
Yeah.
So my entire life, I've known winter. It really doesn't bother me that much. People do that shit all the time. How can you stand this? Because I was born here.
Yeah.
If I go down to 90-degree weather, I'm going to say the exact same thing to you of going, how the fuck can you stand this? I'm not supposed to be in 90-degree weather. I'm supposed to be in 30 below.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's the same way. I mean, people are predispositioned because of not only living there, but having generations living there.
And just mutations and adaptations to better thrive for it. Yeah, but it's just, I don't know, it just kind of is nice to know that they're starting to find different
I wouldn't be surprised if there's 20 different types of primates that came out that were
comparable to humans. Or...
Well, you could even look at it this way on the aspect of the bones that they have found of what they consider are what. Maybe down the road they're going to actually be able to map something that they can't map now. And they'll be like, holy shit, what we thought was this, it turned out to be this and this and this. You know what I mean? So... when you're kind of talking about this kind of stuff, nature had millions of years to create that kind of stuff. Yeah. We've had millions of years, in between us, and then we've only been able to actually look at this kind of shit scientifically for the last 100 years. So we really think that we're going to unlock all the secrets just like that?
Yeah, expertly only 20.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
So you're going to talk about 20 years of scientific advancements, and then you're going to talk about millions of years that nature's had to cover this shit up.
Well, I'm going to take the ignorant view and hold this as static, that there is only 3 offshoots that have created human.
Maybe that's what was riding the dinosaurs.
And the 4th one is the alien DNA.
The aliens!
The alien!
Dun, dun.
Little alien DNA. You ever seen Prometheus, son? That's a goddamn biography!
I like the ending line in that one where he's just like, does it really matter why they wanted to kill you? And she's like, to me it does.
Exactly.
That's such a human response. Goddamn right, I'm taking the fight to their fucking front door.
And they're just trying to kill me probably to save the rest of the universe from the bacteria that is humans.
Exactly, because we're going to spread like mad.
But fuck you.
Because our dumbest and weakest links are going to procreate like rabbits.
Yeah, so they pretty much have no worries about us making it into space.
Oh, God. I just find it funny when you get when you actually look at who's having children and how many. Yeah, the one person that can afford the 13 kids only has 1, and the one person that can afford half a kid has 20.
That is true. That is 100% true. So did you hear about the Ventura verdict that finally came out?
Ventura?
Yeah, didn't you hear about any of this story?
No.
Okay, because I guess I'll have to digress. You heard of the guy that dubbed himself America's deadliest sniper? This Chris Kyle, he was like a Navy sniper.
Okay.
And he claims to having a kill from 1.2 miles away. And shooting this dude. And he's like, I guess wrote the Navy SEAL training manual for snipers, because apparently they used the Marine one before it. So he's this big, hot shot sniper.
And Ventura had a problem with it?
Well, so apparently, or not apparently, I keep saying apparently for some reason. I'm just stuck in that loop. But he wrote...
Until proven guilty, Jake.
He wrote this book, American Sniper, and in the book, he had a story about this well-known political figure and stuff like that, and he called him Scruff Face. So apparently Scruff Face was at this bar in California when it was like a Navy SEAL bar.
Okay.
And so they're there having a wake kind of memorial service after, for a fallen soldier. Just having drinks, sharing stories. And so the story goes, this Chris Kyle says, is that Ventura was there and he was acting all boisterous and, talking shit about Bush and all this, because it happened, during that time. Mm-hmm. And then, I guess Chris Kyle got into his face, the scruff face guy that he claims it was, and, the guy says, who turned out to be Ventura, he later admitted, this Chris Kelly in different interviews, or Chris Kyle, sorry, in different interviews, basically disclosed it was Ventura. Mm-hmm. And apparently Ventura gets into his face and says, yeah, you guys deserve to lose some men out there. You guys are just killing women and children. And then, according to the story, Kyle just pops him in the face and drops him with one punch. And so Ventura, as soon as it comes out, is like, bullshit. So he sues the guy. But he files the lawsuit, and then it was a year or so ago, this Chris Kyle is at a firing range in Texas with him and his buddy and some other guy, apparently, that has, like, PTSD.
Oh, is that the guy that gets shot?
Okay. Yeah, and then just gets murdered, which is highly suspicious, but we won't get into that. And, gets murdered. So then Ventura obviously filed the suit before it, so then he just kind of transfers it on to suing his estate. So then Ventura is just made to be this huge fucking asshole. Yeah. Because you're basically suing a dead sniper. And, for this. But Ventura's like, this is complete defamation. So it finally, they were almost hung yesterday, the jury. And so the judge told them to go back and deliberate a little more. And they actually came back today with an 8-2 verdict and awarded Ventura $1.8 million. Wow. $500,000 for defamation and $1.3 million for the profits that they decided he made specifically off of just that story.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, that is and that just, I don't know, to me, kind of brings that whole dude into question. Like, are you really America's badass sniper?
That's what I was just going to say. It kind of brings the whole thing into the transcript that they're using to train people with. It might not be what it's actually supposed to be. If the guy's telling stories, why wouldn't he tell stories there?
Yeah, some delusional guy that has all these, ideas that he's the greatest thing in the world. He's writing these, delusional beliefs down on pieces of paper, thinking people should do this when it's just shit he pulled out of his ass. Yeah. Because he thought he was
to make a Gillo suit, get your surrounding shit, kill all the Jews, and then you put it in, that's how it starts, man.
Exactly. And it's so weird. Just a weird story. But of course, my mind always has to take it to the conspiracy side, and I'm like, that son of a bitch was murdered because he was going to get sued by Ventura, and then he was going to disclose who actually pressured him into writing basically a piece to defame Jesse Ventura. It's a conspiracy to make Ventura look bad. Because he's not crazy enough looking as it is.
As crazy as he is looking, I just look at it this way, that he knows a lot more than people give him credit for. I mean, you don't get to be a fucking Navy SEAL without knowing something about what's happening. Especially going as long as he did and then coming out and knowing as many people in political fields the way that he did. And being in politics.
And being a pro wrestler. That is basically the microcosm of what Congress is.
Yeah.
That's just a highly exaggerated version.
I mean, it comes down to it that, he knows a lot more than people give him credit for. He might have some rants and raves, but that's what makes him Ventura, damn it.
That's what made him the body.
Yeah, exactly. That's what got him into wrestling in the first place, is he's not afraid to say, hey, look at me!
Exactly.
So, it doesn't... I don't know. He's a little bit too flamboyant at most points about nothing. And he really likes to harp on a lot of different issues. Some of them worth it, some of them just kind of, really, come on, man. You're kind of like Donald Trump just putting your name on shit now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's enough.
Pretty much, it's like he almost was a talking head at a point before he moved to Mexico and just kind of got sick of it all.
Yeah.
Where he's, hey, we need the crazy nut job conspiracy theorist to debate the government shill.
Yeah.
Ventura, come in. Need to eviscerate every single one of them because he can talk circles around most people.
Nah. And I'm just going to say it right now. For me to believe that a Navy SEAL like that got taken down with one punch,
I don't care.
Even by another Navy SEAL, come on.
Yeah, granted, Ventura's like 60.
Yeah, he's still a fucking Navy SEAL.
And
he's still more in shape than either one of us are.
Yeah, and let's say you did take him down with one punch, you think he was just gonna run away with his tail between his legs. I'm sorry, if I get knocked out with one
you
punch,
would be reading about a fight that happened.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be reading it, oh, yeah, I hit him once and he got knocked out.
And what screwed him was, in this book, he said, oh, we did it, it was right in the middle of the bar, knocked him down, tables went flying, blah, blah.
And then nobody saw anything.
Yep. But he had no witnesses that could testify to it, and then he also changed the story when interviewed else places, saying, oh, it was outside, where nobody was around. Sounds like the likely story of a schoolyard liar.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my girlfriend, she lives in Canada.
Yep. No, I made that shot. It was 2 miles. 2 miles, that's it.
Yeah, it was 1 mile. I'm 1.2.
Yep.
1.2 miles. Yep. Wind.
Dude, that was like 300 feet. Shut up!
Don't make me murder you.
Yeah, exactly. You look like you're about a mile out.
And my absolute favorite part, though, is just because when I was kind of refreshing myself on all the stories today after the verdict, and I was going through the old articles, all the conservative rags, like, Glenn Beck's The Blaze. I was reading an article from when it first came out, the book, and they were just sucking this sniper's dick. Like, he's the, greatest American hero. He knocked out that goddamn traitor, fucking Jesse Ventura, for talking shit about George Bush and the Navy SEALs. And now you just kind of look back at it and you're like, really? He's a fucking liar. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. He's not America's best sniper anymore.
I'm not speaking ill of the dead. I'm speaking truth of the dead.
Exactly. And it sucks he's not here to defend himself.
What would he defend?
Yeah.
He's been proven to be a liar.
That is true.
He couldn't get one person in an entire crowded bar that saw anything like this happening?
Especially one person that would not come to the defense of a dead
fellow
guy.
Navy SEAL.
And a dead one.
Yeah.
That's...
If they were in a Navy SEAL bar for a week for another Navy SEAL, you wouldn't think that one Navy SEAL would come to... Like, there wasn't any other guy that was there that wouldn't be like, oh, yeah, he's my brother. I'm not going to let him, get talked to like this.
Yeah.
So, or on Jesse Ventura's side.
Yeah,
the reason that he had nobody there is because it didn't happen. You know what I mean? It'd be one of those things to just be like, all right, if I was at a Navy SEAL bar, wouldn't you think that other people would be like, yeah, he's a Navy SEAL, I'm going to have to say this.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. None of it pans out.
No.
None of it makes any sense.
It just doesn't make any sense that a brotherhood like that would just not show up for one way or the other.
All I gotta know is Ventura had huge cojones to follow through on that.
I would too, though.
Like, shit, now I'm gonna look like the biggest douche suing the guy's estate.
Because he started it before it actually happened.
But that's not the way that it was on every headline.
Of course it's not, because they always twist shit around however they want it. If that was somebody else doing it, like, let's say a cattle rancher that was doing something illegal, they would be all over it like, this guy's a savior. He's just doing things that there should be done, even though it's proven illegal to do.
Bundy Ranch.
Yep. I'm just saying. Those same news stories that you're talking about would be, this guy's a revolutionary. This guy actually knows what he's doing. The founding fathers would be proud of this guy.
Yep.
But instead, a guy like Jesse Ventura does something that's actually legal, and he gets quoted as he's not patriotic, and he's doing this, and he's... Fuck you, man. The guy spent how many years being a Navy SEAL, you douchebag? He did what for you? I didn't see you suiting up and going to shoot somebody.
Yeah, he paved the way for you Navy SEALs.
That's what I'm saying.
This
is Jesse the motherfucking Body Ventura.
Yeah, he's an OG. And it doesn't stand for original gangsta, it stands for original grizzle.
I'm just saying, this guy is so badass, he could have a feather boa and nobody would make fun of him. They were like, nah, I'm not saying anything to that guy. He is huge. You know what I mean?
That is true.
He had a motherfucking feather boa and nobody was like, look at the pussy. Come on. There's only two guys that I know in this world that could pull off the feathered boa, and the other one's David Bowie.
Well, it's because his name was practically the accessory.
Well, then he's the only guy that can pop in and out of being gay.
What about Ric Flair? Didn't he rock a boa?
Oh, he did, and so did Hulk Hogan for a while.
Oh, that was...
But they were all following the body, because
That is true.
He was the first one that was like, yeah, I'm man enough to do it, what? I'm huge!
huge. You know who I miss? Coco Beware. Where's that guy? Is he suing anybody? Let's get him in the news.
He shouldn't be, damn it. I want to know what's going on in his life.
Is he still alive even?
What happened to his parrot? Was that just a proper one?
I don't know. I think he had that. I bet you it was his parrot.
Jake the Snake Roberts, come on.
Did he live with that snake or did he just borrow it? Do you know that?
I have no idea.
Oh, that's one.
I remember he had that defanged cobra for a while.
Yeah, that's just scary.
Yeah, it was. I would never do that.
Not at all.
Taking another weird turn.
Always. Coco Beware, man. Had to bring him up.
Just saying, it's Jesse the motherfucking Body.
Yeah, exactly. It's either that or a Predator reference.
Yeah, I ain't got time to bleed.
So yeah,
we should send him the podcast.
Exactly. I don't know. We're at about an hour. Should we cut this motherfucker down?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking so.
All right. Well, until next time, fellow travelers, come the revolution.
And bring your towel.